Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
talk
you guys, let's get this party started when Sam comes back. It's
Sorry.
okay.
I had to get a water.
I understand. All right, cool. So I'll introduce you a little bit and then you can tell everybody and get into it yourself. But guys, this is Sam Gomes. She is the doer of all things, I feel like. She's a mom. She is, first of all, she's a young, hot mom. Love it. She does it all. I don't even know how old is baby Sam now?
10 months, which is
10
crazy.
months. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Graduated college, doing money full-time, making an amazing salary. So she's here to kind of shed light on how to stay organized in life and money life, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I don't know if Allie's on here, but I love both of the leaders that you guys have on this team. And thank you so much, Chelsea, for having me tonight. So we are going to talk a little bit about, I get this question all the time. How do you manage to have a baby, work the business, balance it all? And I think one of the misconceptions with all of it is that it's easy, that it's easy for me. And I think so often when we see other people succeeding, right? Like, tell me in the comments if you've ever felt this way. You see a girl, she's killing it. She runs through the ranks. She's doing all those things. We start to make excuses as to why she did that and we couldn't. Like, oh, well, she has a lot of followers, or she has more time than me, or she has, whatever it is. And for me, I wanted so much to I had a lot of time before I had my son to work this business. I graduated college and I was making like $5,000 a month doing this. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to jump all the way in and see what happens. Right. So I had a lot of time. And I was like, so set on myself. Like, I am not going to be that person who has a baby and then just says they're too busy for this business. And so that has kind of been my driving force. So I think a lot of times we chalk up someone else's success to something else because we don't want to own up to our own shit. We don't want to own up to the fact that we might not put in as much time that we should. We don't we don't do enough events. We don't do enough lives, things like that. So truly, I was trying to think because I do get asked this question a lot and I'm like, I don't know. I just show up and do my job. Like, I don't make excuses for anything. I don't let my personal life and shit that's going on at home interfere with my work life, because those are two completely separate things. And I think that they should stay separate. And the only thing that I think I have more than anyone else that, is going for SED or whatever it is I'm absolutely terrified to be mediocre. And I know that sounds bad, but I never really grew up with much. And, my mom was always struggling so hard. She was a single mom with 4 of us. We weren't living on the streets, but we didn't come from money, and it was always a struggle. And I feel like going through that and living that life, that made me want to fight every single day to not have that for my family down the line. So I've kind of had this instilled in me since I was young. I worked my ass off always. I've always paid my own bills. So when I got into Monet, I really had something for myself that I could turn into whatever I wanted to. And so I think that your why has to be big enough and scary enough that you cannot stop working your business, no matter what happens, no matter if you break up with your boyfriend, no matter if you have a baby, no matter if you're stressed out at work. Because I lay down at night and I cannot sleep because I'm just thinking of I don't know, when you get it, you have to work that much harder. People think when you get to SED, you just have to stop. But it's when you get into a relationship and they're doing all these nice things for you, and then when they stop, that's when the relationship's kind of over. It's kind of how it is with your business. If you get to where you want to go, but then you stop doing what it took to get there, then it's never going to last. So I truly think that network marketing is something. It isn't something that has to be worked all day, every day for you to become successful. Because truthfully, I work this business about 5 hours a day. And truly, I think that you can work money 20 hours a week and get to SED. But it's what you're doing in that 20 hours that is the most important thing. When you're working, guys, you actually have to be working. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to scroll on social media and post some content and call it a day. That is not it. It has to be like methodical. There has to be systems in place. There has to be some sort of order to what you're doing in order to become successful. So each of my days truly do look different. I have Stanley takes a nap from like 10 a.m. to 12:30 sometimes. And then and then like around 3:30, he takes like a 45-minute nap, and then he goes down at 7. But like a lot of my girls on my team, their kids go to bed at 10 o'clock. And if I couldn't have that, I had to put him on a schedule that worked for me. So when he goes to bed at 7, I can work my business for like straight 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. When he goes down for a nap, I'm working my business for 2 hours. So I have those times set apart. And sometimes each day looks different for me. Like I know some people have like the 5 things that they do every day, which is great. But I kind of take mine, like I tackle one thing per day. Some days I'm checking in with my top line. Some days I am checking in with all of my clients, running reports. Some days I am prospecting and creating content for the week. Whatever it is, but when I'm working, and I'm not just scrolling on social media. I'm not texting. I'm not on team calls and watching The Bachelor and not really listening to what they have to say. So I really think it is about treating this like, if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. But I treat this thing like it's a freaking gem. And when I'm doing it to my best ability. So to answer Chelsea's question, I think that I make the most of my time that I dedicate to my business, and my why is big enough to keep me awake at night. And it's enough to keep me going every single day, even through the hard times. Like, I don't want you guys to think it's been smooth sailing. Nobody in this business, you might look at other teams and you might think, oh my gosh, they have it all together. They're killing it. That's not how it is. One of my best girls 3 days ago told me that she's not doing Monat full time anymore. She's taking this on part-time for whatever reason. But the thing is you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So when she told me that, I could have easily gotten upset and freaked out and whatever it is, but I do not rely on anybody else but myself to make my business successful. And when you take full ownership of your business and what it takes to get there, you'll never stop recruiting. You'll never stop bringing new people in. You'll never stop training people, because you never know who will be in and out of your business. Okay. So, and caffeine helps a lot. But that's what I have for the, how I balance everything. Did I answer that to the best of my ability?
Yes, I think you did a great job.
Okay, cool. I'm huge on tangibles. I'm all about action. I think someone can come on here and preach and give you motivation all day, but if you don't give someone something they can actually do, then it kind of stops there. So I want to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that I see people make in this business specifically. And I'm going to be super honest here because that's just who I am. But I have 4 points that I want to talk about. Number 1 is you are selling the business too hard and you're not selling yourself. So what do I mean by this? I want you guys to think if Monat poofed out of thin air tomorrow, which it's not, but if it did, would you have a brand? Would you have a business, or would you be done for? Right? So when you're building yourself and you are, you're branding yourself as your own thing outside of Monat, you will have that without a product and without a business. Okay. So a lot of people are saying the same crap. They're doing the same IGTVs. They have the same captions, right? Join my team. I'm so glad I jumped into this opportunity in 2020 and all this. And that's great. I'm glad you guys are putting yourself out there, but I want you to think what makes you stand out from the next girl doing this, and that is something that I teach so big to my people is, look, someone's going to join you. They're not going to join, they're not going to join Monat. They're going to join you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Most of the people that are on my team DM me and say, all right, I'm ready to do this without even me having to say anything, because they've watched me be consistent over 2 years and they trust me because I am who I am. And I put that out there all the time. So you need to let people into your life. People are nosy, okay? They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what you're eating. They want to know what you're wearing, where you get your makeup, all of these different things. Okay. This doesn't mean go and copy your favorite blogger's Instagram caption because you think it's good and it'll get you a lot of likes, because that did not come from you. Okay. It's time to get vulnerable, and it's time to tell your own story. No one can relate to perfect. All right. No one can relate to a perfect picture all the time with your makeup on and you looking gorgeous. And while that's great, and we put that out there as well, like I'll show up looking like a hot mess, talking about my mom's stuff, because that is my brand, right? I've completely come into this new world of being a new mom, sharing how truly freaking hard it is. And people relate to that. And a lot of times people come to my page because of hashtags I'm using about mom life, other things like that. When they see me talking about my business after that, that's when they're going to DM me about that, okay? Because I'm inspiring them or whatever it is. But people aren't going to come to your page just because you sell Monat and just because you work a network marketing business. So you need to get them in because of who you are and what interests you have. So I want you guys to think what you can offer people. Is your Instagram all me, 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 me? Like if you go and read your captions, is it me and I and this and that? If it is, you guys need to turn that around and make it about them. I should see more you, your in your caption than me and I, because you have to be selling to a certain person, right? So like my bio, it's like your non-judgmental mama friend, because they don't care if I'm constantly talking about myself, right? What can you do for them? And what do you provide for your ideal client? So yeah, that is number one. I see people selling the business way too much instead of selling who they are and their own story and how they can help other people achieve what they have achieved, okay? So number two, you are prejudging your audience. This one's pretty straight to the point, but so many times I've even done it myself. I think people are like, oh, well, she's too pretty, or she has too many followers. She wouldn't want to do this, or her husband is loaded. She doesn't need this opportunity. She doesn't need the money. Her parents pay for everything. Stop doing that, okay? There's famous girls working this business making more than they ever did doing their famous people stuff. So you can use that as leverage or whatever it is, but rich people know how lucrative network marketing is. It's only the broke people who think it's a pyramid scheme, right? So you need to reach out to these people and you need to show them the value of how big this can be and how if they get in early, they could turn their whole following onto this product and this business. Or if you're rich, you have rich friends who can afford nice hair products, okay? So don't be afraid to go out there and do that. Confidence will sell each and every time. This is why I feel like I go into conversations and I can sell because I have confidence. I don't have to oversell the product. I don't have to oversell the business because I know what it stands for. And when you have that poise about you, like how many people right now, if I asked you, what do you guys do for work? Would you be able to come back with something right away? You need to have that sentence, that elevator pitch right then and there of pure confidence, because I used to be that girl when people ask, what do you do for work? I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I do like direct selling or whatever. Like I was not confident about it whatsoever. And now I'm like, yeah, I run a business. I sell the leading hair and skincare in the entire world. You know, like I'm proud about it. Hell yeah, I sell that shit. Like, do you want some? Because it's amazing. So I need you guys to have that confidence. And if you lack it, it's because you're not connecting with this business or product on a certain level, and you need to go do research and you need to go do product knowledge or whatever it is, so you feel like you can confidently talk about it to anyone and everyone. There was a girl who I reached out to, a famous person, if you will, and she has gorgeous hair and she had never heard about this business before. And she was like, I'm going to have my manager call you. And 2 years ago, I would have like shit my pants and not even like wanted him to call, but he called and I had like a 20-minute conversation with him. And I was basically telling him how this could change her whole entire life and how it could grow her brand as it is. And he was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like please send us some free products. We're going to try it out. And I think this is, you know, and that's just not where I was. But all the growth that I've done, the personal development and the knowledge that I've gained, you need to find that and you need to write it down and you need to say it in the mirror 100 times. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you are saying way too much. Okay. My girls will send me their conversations and I'm like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. They are, like I said, overselling this product and this brand. So I feel like this happens when people are scared or insecure. They feel like they just have to give all this knowledge for it to kind of provide the value. But it's way simpler than you guys may think, and you're probably overcomplicating it. And I want you guys to get really good at asking questions, right? A lot of you aren't listening to what this person is saying. You have that commission breath that's like, hey, I just want you as a sale. And I know you guys probably care, but that's how it will come off to other people, because believe me, network marketing companies reach out to me all the time. And I truly want to help them because I'm like, girl, like, you don't seem to care about what my needs are. And that is all a consumer wants to know. And when you guys note it, like when you guys figure that out, your conversations will go completely different. So when someone reaches out to me and about the business, they're like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? Whatever. I'm like, hey babe, how are you? Like, what are you up to? What makes you interested in the side income? That's it. You know, I don't go into my spiel about the business. Like, we're not there yet. I need to know why this girl needs this opportunity. I need to know where she's at in her life. I need to know, you know, more before I go into what this business could do for her. Okay. So getting in there and really figuring it out what it is, because this girl could tell me that, you know, she loves her job right now, but she just wants extra money for traveling. Okay. We also offer 4 free travels a year. This could be something that's super great for you. The community of women is amazing. Things like that. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little example of this girl who was selling oils to me. She was like telling me all the science behind the lavender, right? And like, I'm not a science person. I was just like, oh, tell me more or whatever. And she went into all of these ingredients and all this different stuff. And if she would have just taken a second to even look at my page or whatever and know I'm a mom of a newborn and that, you know, my fiance works late as shit and I'm probably very stressed out, she could be like, girl, what you're going to do, you're going to drop 2 drops in a bath every single night before you go to bed. I promise it'll be the best sleep you ever had. And you're going to wake up and feel completely refreshed to like tackle the next day as a mom. That's it. That's all she had to say to me to sell me on this product, because that would fix my need, right? So I want you guys to flip that and make it about them and their hair and their skin. One of my girls was talking to a hairstylist, and you know, they freak out when they're talking to a hairstylist. If you are a hairstylist, don't take offense to this, but sometimes it's like, I know way more than you about shampoo, so whatever, but like, you can't let them think that. And so the girl was like, oh, so this like won't make my hair fall out, right? And she like wrote this whole thing. I'm like, no, what you need to say is, girl, come on. Both of us know that shampoo can't make your hair fall out. It's going to actually do the complete opposite, and you're going to kick yourself for not getting on this earlier. Tell me your hair type, and I'm going to get you some products. And she said, I'm in. What do you need from me? Right? Shampoo doesn't make your hair fall out. So once you guys realize that too, like, your confidence will go way up. So get better at asking questions and listening and answering just the question they're asking you. Okay. So I'm going to give you, am I going too long or am I okay? Okay. 20 minutes. I'm good.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you another example. So yesterday, one of my girls sent me a screenshot. The girl messaged her back and goes, just watch the videos. It seems really interesting. Could you please tell me a little bit more about it and how I could get started? I told her to ask her to get on a quick call. The girl didn't. She said, I won't be able to arrange a call today. Is it possible you could text me or send me a voice note if that's easier? I said, okay, tell me what you think you should say and I'll edit it, because I'll go into this in a second, actually. So she sent me, I'll show you guys. Can you see that?
We can see it if you get up close again. Yep.
Okay. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Oh, wow.
No. I said way too much. Okay. So the girl was asked, what did she ask? She asked, how could I get started? That's all she asked. That's it. Okay. So I told her, no problem, babe. I can do that. The first step would be getting your license to sell, which is just what I say. I'll make it sound a little bit more formal, right? We have different options at different price points. It comes with your box of products to use on yourself to become familiar with the brand. It also includes samples, marketing materials, your own link website, and access to all of our trainings. After that, I would walk you through the trainings and how to become successful with money. It's truly such a simple process in the beginning of something that you could turn into whatever you desire. All right. Take the question that they're asking you. Don't go any further than that. And if they have more questions, they'll ask them when you're done answering the first one. All right. So that's tip number 3. You're saying way too much. Number 4, and this is the last one. And if you're a leader or of some sort, or if you guys have girls on your team, this is huge. Stop trying to motivate the unmotivated. Okay. All of my girls are like, how can I get my girls to sell something? I need to motivate my girls to keep going. Should I hold a pump up call? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's not your job to motivate people. Motivation is this made up thing. It's an illusion. How many times have you watched a motivational video? How many times have you went to a seminar? And it's great. You're happy. But it's fleeting. It goes away, okay? Like, you cannot instill that in somebody every single day. Your businesses are gonna go to trash if you try to do that, okay? And I know you wanna be a good leader. You wanna help these girls succeed, but guess what? They have to want it for them more than you want it for them. And that's what's gonna change your business as a leader, okay? So you have to learn self-discipline to reach your goals. You cannot get there through motivation. Okay, what even is that? So how do we become more disciplined and teach our girls to do that as well? Like I told you earlier, I'm all about tangibles. I'm all about systems. I'm busy, right? When someone joins my team, they do the same exact thing as every other person who joins my team. Okay? I have the same onboarding process. I tag them in the same videos. I add them to the same group chat. I have the same 15-minute call with them after they watch an onboarding video to go over what they're going to post. I do the same thing with every single person, and I say, hey, I actually have it written out. I say, when you get a girl on your team, this is exactly what you're going to do with them. I'll help you with the first one. After that, you're going to, you'll work into your groove of what works for you. When you start to do everything for everybody, it's not duplicatable at that point, okay? And you're enabling them. So how do you guys teach your girls to do this as well? They need structure and they need good daily habits, okay? Whether that is you going into your group chat and giving them a task to do or tell them what you're doing for the day for your business, or whether that is, they have the 5 things to hit on every day, the onboarding process. I have a lot of systems in place in my team page and things like that make my life easier. So if you guys are going over the same questions all the time with your new girls, make a document for it so you can have something to send out easily when they ask that question. And guess what? Then you won't have to say it 20 more times because you can say, refer to the document. It's all in there. You tell them to watch a video or check a document when they text you every single question. So yeah, I think I could connect with that. A lot of people do the 3 before me, but I'm very straightforward with my team. When I get on the phone with them, I tell them, first 30 days, I'm going to hold your hand. And after that, this is so exciting. You're a business owner, I cannot wait to watch your business take off or whatever. But guys, you cannot turn someone into something that they're not if they're not ready for it. It's kind of like you can't, change a person basically. So if you do have a really big team, I work a lot with so what I do is I have 2 MMB chats. And I work with my MMBs to show what I'm doing with my new girls. And then I work with my new girls. I'm not like on the phone with my top line if they're MMB and above every single day. Like it doesn't have to be that serious. They're adults and they can work their own businesses. We check in, you know, I'm always talking in my MMB chat, but we'll have a phone call or whatever. But my focus is getting girls started and started strong. If you don't make your girls a sale in the first, you know, week, 2 weeks, whatever, if they're putting in the effort, of course, that's when it starts to dwindle down. They start to get, you know, upset or whatever it is. And so I'm solely focused on getting my new girls started strong, giving them that month of guidance from me, whatever they need. And obviously my other girls know that they can ask me anything, anytime, but I have systems in place to help these people get on strong, and finish that way. So that was tip number 4, stop trying to motivate the unmotivated. And that's all I have. But if you guys have questions, I'm free for another couple minutes. So please ask.
Seriously, so good. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I feel like we have this recorded too.
I feel like it's just stuff that people need to like rehear. You know what I mean?
I think it's good for us to hear from somebody different too. Do you guys have any questions for Sam? Let's say we'll take like 3 to 4. I don't want you to like flood you, but we can take a couple.
What's your Insta? Samantha Marie Gomes. Gomes. How do you explain the old claims against money for girls who sign up? So I don't really bring it up unless they bring it up. A lot of my new girls have been bringing it up though lately. So, I don't know. I handle it different every single time. I think voice notes are huge. I think it really shows the tone in your voice that you know that these products don't make your hair fall out. I say, look, I use them on my son, you know, like the person who means the most to me in the entire world. So I would never put something on him that would harm him. Our products go by EU standards. All the ingredients are completely safe. If you have an allergy, you know, that's a different story. But you can't freak out too much when they ask you, because then it's like, it gives it too much credit. I feel like, how do you get people to spend $84? Value, creating value. Creating value, I think, is the biggest thing when talking to VIPs. A lot of people struggle with their hair. They've tried multiple different products. I don't talk about price until the very last second. Okay, so I'm figuring out exactly what's going on with their hair. And then, you know, I'm telling them, I'm taking the issues that they have and setting up products that'll be perfect for each one of those issues. And then I'm explaining that to them, how it's going to help their psoriasis, how it's going to help the frizziness or whatever it is. And you know what? Some people aren't going to sign up on the first time that you price them out. I have people ghost me all the time. I circle back around literally on every flash sale. I follow up with VIPs all the time, like potentials. I don't necessarily do that with market partners, because if I'm chasing a market partner now, I'm going to have to chase them when they sign up on my team. So I don't really do that. What are your best tips for getting your new girls to hit MMP? That's my biggest struggle. So I think having like another system, some stuff that they can send out to their warm market, right? Like for VIPs and for MPs, like a little script, if you will, super straight to the point, whatever. I help them set up their first post on social media, like on their actual feed, to kind of give their page like, hey, I'm up to something new. They don't have to say they're in Monet. They don't have to say anything like that, but to kind of set the stage in their first couple posts on Instagram. And then what I've been doing lately is, let's say, for example, my girl Jaylee, she's enrolled a few people. So what do we do? What have we been doing? We've been setting up potential calls with small groups of people. So I get her girls and I say, look, send this message, you know, whatever it is, to 5 people that you would love to have on your team, or girls you're having like conversations with, 5-10 people. See if they can jump on the call tonight. No pressure, and hear your mentors talk about what it is that you're up to, right? So these potential calls have had like 6 to 15 people on, whatever. But they've been great. You know, like it's a small enough group that you can have, you know, you can actually ask people, hey, Sarah, like, how do you guys know each other? Or what's holding you back? Whatever. I have a little PowerPoint slide I go through, 20-minute call. So that's been really working for me too. And it's helped not have to be on 40 freaking potential calls a day. it's kind of like cutting that out because I don't have time. How to reach out to bloggers or people with a bigger following that hold the same values and love this. I'm a firm believer in you need to build a relationship with somebody before just pitching them the business. See if you guys can relate on something. Have a few conversations. Try to get them talking about any partnerships that they have going on, if they're partnered with any beauty companies, and then kind of take it from there. If someone has a lot of following, I honestly tell them I'll send them free product if they want to like learn more about the brand, like free full-size products, and that if they love them, it could be very lucrative for their brand and monetize their Instagram and stuff like that. Those are the kind of words that they want to hear. So they're used to getting free shit. So you kind of have to start there and see where it goes, I think.
Cool. Great. Thank you so much, Sam. You brought like so much value. I'm so appreciative. I know everyone loved it.
Good.
So I'll send you this recording after, and you guys, I'll send this out too for anybody that missed it. But thank you so much. That was amazing. We have not talked about anything like this in a while. Like you said, I think it's just things that people need to hear, and it's like that no-brainer stuff that when you hear it, you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, I haven't actually sat down and worked my business in a week, so I should probably do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what working my business is.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Sam. I hope we can do this again soon, too.
For sure. Bye.
Bye, guys.